Morning, Vail. I am Tracy Miller in the kitchen. I'm so happy to be here. My business is called Colorful Cooking because my mission is to add fruits and vegetables to every meal. Of course, you need 2 to 4 cups of both fruits and vegetables per day. And right now, if you like apples, they are absolutely delicious. So what I came up with today was something that I could use with apples, but it's a little bit of a throwback. It's something that my mom would make when we were little, and it's called deviled ham. All you need to do is get some deli ham or your leftover ham from baking one and grind it up really nicely in your food processor. It's a really easy recipe. So I took my leftover sliced ham because it was kind of getting stale, just having a ham and cheese sandwich. I ground it up, and then you add a little bit of mayonnaise to kind of give it that nice creaminess. We're also going to add a little bit of mustard for that kick and that vinegar, because vinegar is a really nice kind of secret ingredient when you are cooking. It's always nice to add a little vinegar. But the funny thing that we're going to add to this here is a little Worcestershire sauce as well. And when I say a little, just do a little bit, because this has the umami flavor. It's going to kind of give it a little more complexity, but you only want a little dab because Worcestershire sauce is actually fish and anchovies. So it's got a lot of flavor. So we're going to sweeten all of that up with a tad of maple syrup. Really easy recipe, probably a lot of the ingredients that you have at home, and then of course with everything a little fresh ground pepper and a little bit of salt. We're not going to add too much salt because both ham and mustard have a lot of salt. When I am making this deviled ham, I want to have a fresh flavor to it, so I decided to add some parsley. So what I want to show you today is how to cut parsley. First of all, some people are really offended by parsley, so you really want to chop it up really nice and small. It's so good for you and it's so fresh, but the stems on parsley are not something that you want to eat. For example, cilantro, you want to eat the stems, but not on parsley. They get a little bit bitter. So what you do is you pull all the stems off, and then you put your herbs in a pile like this. And then you take your knife and you kind of fan it over. This is the best way to chop up your herbs nice and finely, and that's what we want to do with parsley, because like I said before, people get literally offended by parsley. So when you're working with something like this, you put it in a little pile, you hold down the top, and you kind of fan it. This is a great way to cut nuts as well. But do you see how nice and small my parsley is becoming minced? So that's what I'm looking for here. I'm going to throw that into my food processor, and then I'm going to grind it up. So if you're up a little earlier than you wanted to be today, turn down the volume for this. We're just going to grind that all together until it's mixed up nicely, and it's going to have kind of one of those creamy textures. I've decided to just put it on a cracker today because I want to make it nice and easy. But the reason why I brought the apple in is because literally you could use the apple as a vessel if you're going gluten-free or you don't want to, eat any bread or anything like this. A deviled ham would be nice on a bruschetta, and it would also be really nice just on a cracker or a sandwich. But then if we want to freshen it up and add something delicious, let's take some of these nice apples. And when you're buying apples, you really want to buy organic because they have a lot of pesticides in them. But sometimes the organic apples are not that good a quality. Right now, they're in season. They're awesome quality. I would say splurge and buy the organic, and then make sure you eat them. And if you're looking for this recipe, it's a super simple, really kind of a nice recipe if you have little kids and you're trying to introduce them to new soft foods. This might be a good one for them as well. So log on to my website at colorfulcooking.com, shoot me an email, and I will send you this recipe. But right now, what I can suggest is if you don't want to make deviled ham today, even though it's super simple and easy, then just get some of the great apples that are out there right now, because they are so in season, they're crunchy, and they're absolutely delicious. We're going to take a quick break. Thanks so much for joining us here in the Colorful Kitchen. I'll be back to take a look at that weather forecast. Is it going to be windy? Do you want to take a picnic out on the mountain? I'll give you all the details in just a moment.